over in Orlando. Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa, Raymond James Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between our visitors and our home team. Running on the long side, Charles Davidson. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Maybe this is a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Ready.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's off at the 39. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie. Your first drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. goes to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
Very nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, I got to go ahead and hold it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. They'll run on first down. It's right. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Throw left side complete. That's Cannon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be third down.
Why no goes gets the instincts of first catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as the sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ready? Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. We got 4. We got 4. We go. Line 36. Line 36.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes it now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken in at the 22. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside inside the 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Now a give, right side, right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Here we go.
2nd down and goal. Walker. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as the Buccaneers tack onto their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understand who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
It's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully punts.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around. We just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards there, and a Buccaneer first down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lot of them trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On first down, right, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they were give up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. And they know they got to play a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved that they could score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
Ready, set, put up.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Now Carter to throw on third down. He'll hit Jackson complete. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And an alley to run. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20, 10, and all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. 87 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Extra point attempt here still to come. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On second down now, it's Jackson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here this first quarter as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver. Really lost the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
To throw is Walker on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On second down, it's Wright. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
A good run there off right tackle in old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Looking to throw. Walker, a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morris. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Ready.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Ready up.
Hey, we got 4.
Snap.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 9 yards on the keeper there, but it's still going to leave him with a 3rd and 1. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
And the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They'll run on first down. It's right, and he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
On 2nd down now. It's right, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, Slaughter, and a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 17, Walker. Flush. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well,
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
The 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
See if he can do just that. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Carter. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Morris. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jackson, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game in the form of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating, and it allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Forced out to his left. Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back to throw. Walker, man open left side is Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona 1st. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Walker now. Operating from the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now Walker throwing on 1st down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Looking to throw. Carter. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cannon. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. Get this close, sneaking.
I don't think he even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
On 4th down, Sean McDermott trots the field goal unit out there. This from 36 yards out. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
So they want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Walker. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver and tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Walker toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, let's get there.
Here's Walker. From the gun, he'll throw. Steps away to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The drive starting with a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. This is Marshall. And now running right through it. Touchdown! A great play there. 58 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Buccaneers onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, they're 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, Carter. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw. Carter. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
And if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Walker on 1st and 10. That one complete to Anderson. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Walker buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. Fielded just inside the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. To throw again on second down. Walker. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they put up with meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Back to throw. Walker. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
To throw is Walker. Throwing on third and long.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes the field goal team once more. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
If 20 years ago you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range. You're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong. We have plenty of money.
They run again with Jackson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. If you take off too quick to try and get him down, you might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Walker. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now, that's a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
Everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 2. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. They needed to... They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. On second down, it's Jackson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
15 line.
He's checking.
Carter now on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice, get rid of it, live to fight another down.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get it behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morris. 20, 10, and touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Let's go.
On first down, it's right. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 47 yards.
Just more of the same there, Carlton. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
On first and 10, Tillman. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll roll, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on third down. Looking to throw. Tillman. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up fourth down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Back to throw is Carter. Off play action. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Carter on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
That should not stop them at all. Going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And this is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down. Tillman trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable, and there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, Don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. On second down now, it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And that stretches the lead to 27. Back now in Tampa, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now. Right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Right. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Tillman, and Anderson's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Bucs on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Back to throw. Tillman, he's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 9-yard touchdown ground as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. A try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the run, this is Jackson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the backer, watch the backer. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Now Carter to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
On 2nd down, Slaughter. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Martavis Bryant. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's What's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? Is trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On third down, Carter. And that will be incomplete.
That's it, baby.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
And this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Here's Carter throwing on fourth down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it, got right to the quarterback, no chance on that fourth down. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch QB drop.
Looking to throw. Tillman. This is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
70, Indy.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Yeah, that was the safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Sponge. No.
Hey, Zoo.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal.
Seven's a Mike. Mike 7.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Go.
Back to throw. Tillman to the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Hey, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Tillman being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And his kick is indeed good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
11 yards there, 1st down. On 1st down, Carter. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down now, it's Jackson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Carter now from the gun on 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Tillman over the middle. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Graham, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
60 outlaw.
They'll keep it on the ground. Graham. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
To throw on 3rd down. Tillman, and he's got Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Jackson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what is...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side. Graham, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.